Alright guys, guess where I am tonight? Any clues? Any idea? Of course I'm at Portsmouth, aren't I? Because tonight I'm going to be taking the Brittany Ferries Galicia from here all the way down to Santander, and it's a 2-night crossing, believe it or not. I'm leaving tonight about 21:30 hours. They're getting into Santander on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Really looking forward to this. I'm going to show you everything that they've got on offer on the boat. We'll check out the bars, the entertainment if there is any, the cabins, the restaurants. We'll have a look outside as well. It's going to be freezing cold, guys, I can tell you that much, because it is really dropping now, the temperature. But I'm looking forward to it anyway, so come with me, we'll get on board, and I'll see you on the boat. Right, so I wanted to see how easy it was to do this as a foot passenger, just using public transport to get down to Portsmouth, then get on the boat and get around Santander once I'd reached my destination. I arrived by train into Portsmouth Harbour railway station, and although I had some great company, it was a good half an hour's walk, 1.7 miles, to the ferry terminal from here. You can catch a bus from just outside the station. Alternatively, Portsmouth and Southsea railway station is a bit closer at 1.1 miles, or you can get the National Express coach, which will drop you off right outside the terminal. So once you're inside, you will find that the Brittany Ferries check-in desks are immediately to your right. And there is also a general shop on the ground floor here, beside which someone had decided to put some footprints on the floor, which I guess tempts you to follow them, which I did, upstairs, where you will find a cafe bar and some additional seating. Now, all in all, the terminal building is pretty smart. It's clean and with all the facilities you need, and not just for foot passengers, by the way, but also for people travelling with a vehicle who will inevitably be parked up outside waiting in a massive queue. Believe me, I've been there and done it many times. Now, back downstairs, all foot passengers for the Santander ferry were called through the airport style security, after which we ended up walking down a less than glamorous alleyway, at the end of which was the waiting bus to take us onto the ferry. Okay, on the shuttle bus to the boat, I was expecting like a normal bus, but it's more like a converted ambulance. I think it's even got the right colour, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think they're expecting many foot passengers tonight. Maybe 6. We'll see what happens. There's definitely 2 more coming on anyway, so we'll catch you on the boat. Yeah, so in the end, there were just 3 foot passengers on tonight's sailing, including myself. And I spent ages waiting for the other 2. I'll tell you why in a minute. But in the meantime, the bus transfer operation had concluded by dropping us off on the car deck of Brittany Ferries Galicia, where we were welcomed by a really enthusiastic Brittany Ferries staff member.
Welcome on board.
Well, thank you very much.
This is the Galicia ship from last year.
And I'm very much looking forward to this, and there's a very nice gentleman here. This is going to be going out to thousands and thousands of people on YouTube. And my first time on Galicia actually, so hopefully it's going to be a nice calm crossing, unless this chap tells me otherwise.
Yes, and it will be the match between France and England.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Yeah, this was the night before the France versus England World Cup football match, which most people on the boat, apart from the Spanish I guess, were looking forward to. We were escorted up to our cabins by the lovely Brittany Ferries staff, and within minutes I found my room, which was located on deck 7 towards the stern of the ship. It's first time. Well, I've got a window. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, inside cabin for me tonight, guys, 7126. I'll do a little bit of a cabin tour at some point, but you know what, we've got tonight, and then we've got a full day tomorrow, and then tomorrow night as well, so plenty of time for all that kind of stuff. I'm going to watch the boat go, as is tradition for me, and yeah, just chill out for a bit. I'll catch you a little bit later. Right guys, out on deck 10 of the Galicia, Brittany Ferries Galicia, and yeah, I think it's probably safe to say it's quite quiet tonight. Just watching my step because the deck is actually quite icy. -3 apparently in Portsmouth tonight. Just an illustration of how quiet it is. When I went through security as a foot passenger, instead of getting a bus to the ferry, it was just like a minibus. You probably saw that. There were like two other people, two other foot passengers on this journey tonight, and the Canadian guy, got held up at security because he was carrying a knife, a flick knife. So it's like, what do you expect? But we've made it, and the boat is a little bit late leaving port tonight, but that doesn't matter, does it? Because it's it's a 2-night voyage down to Santander, and it's pretty cold. It's warmer down there, and we've got the Spinnaker Tower over there, where I was a little bit earlier, and we've got a couple of other ships in tonight. There's a ship going up to Caen. We've got the Normandy there, and we've also got a ship going out to Saint-Malo. That might have already gone, I'm not sure. It's normally the Britann that goes to Saint-Malo. I can't quite see anything else in port, but it might be in port. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it's really freezing cold out here, so we'll have a quick wander around, and obviously tomorrow when it's light I'll show you the boat. We'll see you in a bit. Good morning, guys, from the cabin, I guess, on the Brittany Ferries Galicia, heading down to Santander from Portsmouth. I didn't have a bad night's sleep, actually. It was all right. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to tell you about the Sea Club Lounge, which I purchased access for an extra £30, I think it was. So I've got my little ticket here, and that enables me to go in whenever it's open. Now I believe it's open from 7:30 in the morning, and they're serving some kind of continental breakfast. Last night, by the way, I spent about an hour and a half in there, and I was serving wine and various snacks and soft drinks, tea, coffee, that kind of thing. It's quite a nice little environment in there. So we'll go and see what they've got for breakfast, shall we? Come with me, and I'll see you in the Sea Club Lounge. Right, so the Sea Club Lounge is located towards the front of the ship on deck 8. Access is on the port side, using the ticket I mentioned, which you poke into this slot here. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but there's usually a member of staff around, or you can just tailgate somebody else that's going in. The lounge is spread across the whole of the width of the boat at this point, with a generous amount of informal seating, and then you've got the food and drink area where you basically just go up and get whatever you want, whenever you want. And I've got to say, breakfast was phenomenal. Because as well as these fantastic pastries here, there was also loads of hot food available. Pretty much a full English breakfast, to be honest, and plus your cold meats and the more continental style offerings I was already expecting. And I went and sat down at a window seat with a selection of stuff, as you can see here, and what a fantastic view to go with it too. Absolutely beautiful. After I'd finished, I thought I'd better go and walk it off a bit, so I went outside all the way up to the top of the boat just to see what the view was like, really. Right guys, deck 10 I am on, which is the highest deck you can actually get to on the Galicia. And I'll tell you what, it's not a bad morning actually. As you can see, I have no need at the moment to be wearing a coat, and what a fantastic sunrise. It's already in the sky now, isn't it? Actually missed the sun coming up, to be honest, but it's not a bad morning, is it? Now, I've just been for some breakfast, as you saw, and I've got to say it's fantastic. And the weather, well, where we've come from, it's like there's been a few rain showers, doesn't it? But we're making good progress now, heading down towards the Bay of Biscay and on towards Spain. So we'll go and have a little bit more of a look around the boat, I think, and I'll catch you in a bit. So there was plenty of deck space on this ferry, wasn't there? And plenty of stairs too. There was also lots of little detail, like these whale-watching information boards, handily placed where you are, if you're lucky and likely to see one or two. Well, I went back inside, on deck 7 again, and this is where you find the guest information desk, and the foyer, I guess you'd call it. On older ferries, I remember seeing sea charts with a route of the crossing indicated on it. But on this ship, it's all gone digital, so you have these big touch screens instead. But they also have information about the ship, as you can see here. Now moving on from the foyer, we have the duty-free shop selling all the usual drinks and perfumes, cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. And then taking the stairs up to deck 8, we reach the main bar area, the Plaza Mail Bar, where I was about to experience something I'd never tried before. I was just doing something else. I heard some guy come on the PA saying something, blah 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 blah. It's entirely free for everybody on board, but I'm not sure what it is. And apparently it's up here, so next to the bar on deck 8. So we'll wait and see. There doesn't seem to be many people here at the moment, so I'm not quite sure what it is. It turns out it was an introduction to Tai Chi, given by the same guy who greeted me on the car deck the night before. And I figured he must have been the part-time entertainments manager. A really nice chap, actually. I mean, there wasn't really much entertainment on this ship. Come to think of it, there wasn't any kind of stage area, like you get on the traditional ferries, such as the Pont-Aven or the Bretagne. Anyway, moving around the starboard side of the bar, you come to the house of Las Meninas, which is home to the secrets of Spain's most famous painting, apparently. Opposite that, there was an exhibition gallery. A bit of a strange area, really, this, but I tell you what, it sure makes a change from the usual kind of fruit machines and arcade games you find, doesn't it? Wi-Fi, by the way, is free for 1.5 hours, then you have to pay, depending on how long you want to use it for. It is pausable, though, which does help. And then straight ahead of us, we then come to the Taberna de Tapas, which is the first of 2 restaurants on board. I'll explain how the food arrangements go in a minute, but just finishing our tour of Deck 8, we have the kids' play area back on the port side, and a reserved seating area next to the entrance to the Sea Club lounge that we've already seen. Anyway, after all that oriental exercise, I headed back out onto deck for what was, for me, one of the highlights of the trip. Right guys, so I'm back out on deck after doing a session of Tai Chi, would you believe? This point of the journey, it's one of my favourite parts because, and it's something I look forward to whenever I catch the ferry down to Spain. It's where the boat actually rounds the tip of northwestern France, and it will normally take a shortcut through the islands, just because it's more efficient, I suppose, and it saves a bit of time as well. I'm not sure how close they're going today, but we're definitely going through some. And we can just about maybe just make that out over my left shoulder there. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. There's lots of nice scenery, lighthouses, cliffs, beaches, all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to this bit, and then it's straight down the Bay of Biscay towards Santander. So let's have a look at some sights, shall we? Tell you what, let's do more ferry travel because it is the most relaxing way to travel, isn't it? Yeah, okay, it takes a long time to get down to the north of Spain, but you know, I always think when you get to Portsmouth or Plymouth, and then you get on the ferry, that is the start of the holiday, isn't it? Or the start of the travel experience. And then what you get then, the boat, the facilities, the entertainment, the food, the drink, and the accommodation is just, as I said, it makes the holiday for me. It's around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, so yeah, I'm thinking I might be starting to feel a bit hungry, so I'm going to nip back inside, and I'm going to have a little bit more to eat and drink, I think, in the Sea Club Lounge. Catch you in a bit. Cheers. Not even close. Yeah, so the Sea Club Lounge was really starting to pay off. I mean, look at this, right? And my lunch was a couple of glasses of wine, cheese, olives, a Burico ham, bread, and as much of this as you wanted, all included in the price of the lounge access. Yeah, for £30, you really cannot go wrong for this price. I went back up to deck 10 again to get some more exercise, and as you can see, the sea state was really calm for the Bay of Biscay, and it remained this way for the duration of the trip. This area is notoriously rough, and I've had some real exciting crossings in the past, but it remained placid for the duration of the journey, which was, for me, a real positive. Now, up on the top deck, you've got this outside seating area with some kind of counter here, closed as you would expect, and also a further kids' play area opposite. A real nice space this, and I would imagine it would be lovely sitting out here in the summer when the sun's out. A lot busier than today though, obviously. At filter capacity, the Galicia will take 1,015 passengers in 341 cabins. So it's not the largest vessel in the Brittany Ferries fleet, and not the quickest either, travelling at a surface speed of about 22 knots on its leisurely 30+ hour sailing down to Spain. But these days it's all about the drive towards more sustainable transport. These E-Flexes ships, as they are known, have hulls that are designed to reduce drag and improve efficiency. Closed-loop scrubbers that remove the vast majority of sulphur dioxide and soot from the exhaust fumes, and there's also green initiatives like minimising single-use plastics on board. I always think Brittany Ferries do it with a certain flair as well. There's artwork on the walls, and I don't know if you noticed, but there are little like statuettes by the outside seating on the top deck there. Now, things like a fake window in the inside cabins, just to make it feel a little bit more spacious and inviting. Yeah, like I said, just little details you wouldn't necessarily expect on an ordinary ferry, in my opinion. Well, it was getting late in the afternoon now, and I was looking forward to a 3-course dinner tonight, which is included in the price of your ticket. And before that, though, I stayed on deck for a bit and just watched the sun go down. It really was a beautiful evening. Right, so after it got dark, I headed down to deck 7 via the lift this time, which is where the main Azul restaurant is situated. Like I said, your evening meal is included in the price of your ticket, and you get the choice of dining in this or the tapas restaurant that you saw earlier. Everybody gets allocated a time slot, and you go and queue up accordingly. I had quite an early slot, which was fortunate really, because I wanted to watch the football. Even so, I thought I'd rock up a little bit early, just in case there was a massive queue. Well, there were about half a dozen people milling about, and I was shown to a table pretty much straight away. The Azul was the largest of the 2 restaurant options we had on board, and I thought I'd just order a bottle of water with my food, as I would be drinking as much free wine as I could a little bit later on. I certainly didn't want to pay for it here anyway. Well, I skipped the first course and went straight for the Iberian pork chop with roasted chorizo and mashed sweet potato, which was very nice. For dessert, I had the cheesecake made with Spanish mountain cheese apparently, and a fruit puree. Staff were attentive and efficient. Now, I was probably only in there about 45 minutes max, to be honest, before heading back to my cabin to prepare for the main event of the night, the football. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I've just been for my evening meal, which is free. You get a 3-course meal included in the ticket price. That was quite nice. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be going now though, because there was a massive queue. There must have been 100 people waiting to be seated. The only thing I would say is there are no drinks included, so you have to pay for everything, including water, bottled water. I didn't have a starter, but I ordered a bottle of water, so I had to pay, I think it was about £1.60 or something at the end. I thought it was a bit tight, to be honest, that. But yeah, I'm not really going to complain. It's pretty good. The food was quite nice actually. So I'm going to go back into my cabin, and then the football's on. So yeah, I think a few people are going to miss out because they're going to be in the restaurant, but I'm not. So I'm going to head back up to the Sea Club Lounge, and I'll catch you in a bit. Right then guys, back in the cabin after watching another England defeat in the World Cup. So yeah. Inside cabin I have on this boat, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour, so let's have a look, shall we? See what we've got from the door inwards. And yeah, so we've got the usual kind of space there for hanging your coats, coat hangers, and a large mirror, and yeah, nice little light display on the floor there. If I just do that, you can see that a little bit better, can you? Yeah, anyway, so you've got a little kind of, well, call it a desk area, could you really? But there's a seat that goes underneath that, and yeah, there's good connectivity, isn't there? I'm not sure what that is. If you know, then let me know. Anyway, yeah, it's because I'm just travelling on my own. On this crossing, then obviously there's a lot more space because the bottom bunk here is folded up, but yeah, it can sleep 4 people. As you can see, you've got the 2 top berths there, and this bottom bunk is actually, it doesn't fold away because I guess there's always going to be at least one person in the cabin, isn't there? So yeah, that is what you get. And yeah, there's some more USB points and European style plug sockets there, and a little bedside table, nice little reading lights there. There's one for each bunk, and yeah, it's although it's an inside cabin, that's quite nice, isn't it? You know, don't need to do that, but yeah, if you want to think about the sea when you're travelling along at night, then that's what you get. And yeah, the thermostat controlled heating there, or air conditioning in the summer. You've got all that on the ceiling there. Okay, let's go and have a look at the bathroom. Light switch there, and yes, this is a pretty standard cabin bathroom, isn't it really? You've got the shower there, which is great. Nice hot water, yeah, great shower. Another big mirror there with the light on the end. A mix of taps, soap dispenser there, and in the shower area. Yeah, there's not much else to show you in there, is there really? Shaver points. But yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to it, really. And yeah, I've got to say, I was in here last night. I had a decent night's sleep. It's fine. It's really calm, the sea, so that's great. Not just from the point of view that the boat's fairly stable, but you haven't got all the idiots who haven't deactivated their car alarms and their cars going off in the middle of the night, have you? Because the car next right below us. So that's good, isn't it? So yeah, cabin tour. Let me know what you think about the cabin. I think it's pretty good, actually, and so yeah, absolutely no complaints from me. Everything is fine. One other thing to mention: it's like card access, and the ticket that you get when you get your boarding pass when check-in activates the door, and it also tells you when your meal slot is, because on Galicia they include a 3-course meal. I probably mentioned that a little bit earlier, and yeah, so you just have like a meal time on there, indicated on there, so that not everybody's going at the same time. So yeah, that's all there is to say about the cabin, really. It's getting on a bit now. I'm going to catch some, catch up with some sleep, I think. And by the time I wake up, I think we're expected into Santander at 7 o'clock British time, which is obviously 8 o'clock European time. So I'll see you in the morning, ready for departure. Hopefully it'll be reasonably warm. I'll catch you then. Good morning from Santander, guys, where I was hoping to show you the glorious golden beaches of the approach into Santander, but as you can see, unfortunately, the sun isn't up yet, which caught me by surprise, to be honest. It's like 7:45 local time, and I was just kind of assuming it would be. So unfortunately there's not much to see, but yeah, the boat is on time. We are going to be alongside the dock in about 15 minutes, and yeah, overall I think this has been a very pleasant journey. I was a little bit concerned with the 2-night thing and how long it took, but yeah, I think it was definitely worth getting the Sea Club Lounge pass, because that made a world of difference, especially on this long 2-night crossing. So that was really good, and I'm glad I was able to show you that. And yeah, price wise, I think it's reasonable. As I paid for a foot passenger at £247, and that includes £30 for the Sea Club access. So it's not the cheapest ferry in the world, is it? But having said that, 2 nights accommodation, food as well. Don't forget, there's a 3-course dinner included on the second night. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad, actually. I would recommend it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for coming along on this. I hope you join me on another adventure soon, and as always, guys, cheers for now. I think so, yeah. Should we do it?